welcome you to my world, the world of knowledge acquisition. Earth is wealth, knowledge is power. Great minds are like gods, they live forever. The topic for discussion today is the skin, the largest organ in the body. Though externally located, it's nevertheless the largest organ. The largest organ internally located remains the liver, but externally the skin is the largest organ. It is an organ because it is made up of different tissues. When you call something a cell, it is all cell, the same uniform shape. When it is a tissue, it is different shapes of cell performing specialized function, and then when it's an organ, you now have different tissues performing specialized function. So the skin is an organ, and that I shall expose us to. The skin has three layers: the epidermis, the dermis, and the subcutaneous or hypodermis. And the mere looking at the skin, we think it is not involved. The skin is involved in all disease situation of the body. Almost all disease situation, the skin shows one way or the other. So my effort today shall be on how to expose all this. So the outline, the course outline, the topic outline today shall start with, as usual, the definition, going on into the normal skin, then exposing more the normal skin, as well as now going on into the skin in a disease state. After that, we go on to the skin when it is bacterial, viral, or fungal, or chemical situation, infection that is affecting it. And then we now go on to these days of modern skin, where people want their skin to be toned, that is looking so tenderly like children's skin. The different infection or description of the skin are so many, so numerous, but I will try as much as possible to make it I will conserve it, make it a little bit understandable for everybody. If you like what you see, press the like button, subscribe, get notified. I shall continue on this slide now. Your skin and the lab. The picture of the skin is so beautiful with colors. The outline is definition. After definition, we go on to the function of the skin, appearance. Normal skin explain the skin appearance in disease states, whether bacterial, viral, fungal, chemical, cancer, autoimmune diseases, and lab diagnosis. The skin treatment, finally. The definition: the term skin is commonly used to describe the body covering of any animal, but technically referring only to the body covering of vertebrate. I will define it as the largest organ covering the body of vertebrate. The function of the skin will be: it is a barrier that helps prevent harmful microorganisms and chemicals from entering the skin. The skin is so tight, the cells are so tightly knit, so that there will be no penetration. And the top layer is full of dead cells. It prevents the loss of the life-sustaining body fluids. It protects the vital structure inside the body from injury and from the potentially damaging ultraviolet ray of the sun. The skin also helps regulate body temperature. It excretes some waste products, and it is an important sensory organ because it contains various types of specialized nerve cells responsible for sense of touch. That's why when you touch, they can always feel the sense of touch. Normal skin appearance, that's it there. You see the epidermis, the dermis, and subcutaneous, all layered, all shown as that. the normal skin explained. When you look at the topmost area, that's the epidermis, you find that it contains the sternum corneum, and the cells there are dead, and that's where most people, the chemical used for bleaching and what have you, it removes that topmost layer, and the lighter part comes out. The dermis contains the hair follicle base, so touching the nerve cells. So when you touch the hair, the nerves will always send the sensory sense to the brain. So there is the feeling of touch, and if you touch the skin too, the area of the nerves sends the messages accordingly. There is also the sebaceous gland just after the epidermis, is on the dermis level, which helps to really protect the skin with, and even the oil help to protect the skin and makes the skin very shiny. The lower part is the fat layer, which also helps in preventing penetration of bacteria and foreign organisms. The skin appearance the skin appearance for streptococcal infection, bacterial infections are most of what you are seeing. You find people having cellulitis of all type, erysipelas, infection, the cellulitis affecting all the skin, impetigo, and even tonsillitis, as well as, but these are all mainly streptococcal infection. You call this type the butterfly skin infection. This is also rashes, which will appear on the skin. The skin will show so many problems. This is the staph really showing seriously, and this is something from Salmonella typhi. You want to also look at other infection that staphylococcus will cause. All these are plates of staph aureus that you see, and the skin infection is so many with different kind of bacteria internally showing outside the skin, and you can imagine even viruses. And Steven Johnson is this one you are seeing syndrome with mycoplasma. Let us try and list so many infections that could affect the skin. There is the allergic eczema. That's the description of the skin when it is discolored. There is also the acne, pimples. That is very commonly known. The skin cancer, epicycles, blister, nodular eczema, impetigo, rises, scabies, contact dermatitis, vitiligo, loss of the skin melanin. That's when you see some patches of the skin appearing white, some areas applying yellow. Then that continues on. We have the reaction to medication rashes looking a lot like sunburns. You have sunburns appearance. You have autoimmune diseases causes scarly discolored. These are pictures that you see, very common pictures, and some of them I've just shown you. Mongolian spots. The number is the names are so many. Cold sore, fever blisters, bedbugs sores. That's something that is common, especially in the third world. We can also talk of the evolution of rashes. The rash, when you talk about the evolution, almost all viral infection, bacterial infection present with onset of rashes, and gradually these rashes evolve to vesicle. They are still called rashes, but the vesicles are the one that has bottle type inside it. The bottle is clear and not as discrete as rashes. They come close, they are wider, and when vesicle coalesce, they form bullae, which could be hemorrhagic, and that's serious. Vesicle may dry up and form scab or go to intermediate stage of the pustule. That's when you see the yellow pus inside the fluid becomes turbid, and the final stage is crossed from where pus to. So laboratory diagnosis could be bacterial infection are identified doing microscopic culture and sensitivity of the skin lesion. ELISA is also very useful, and PCR, especially for identification of the organisms. Fungal infection by skin slips, skin scraping, needle mount microscopy. You can even grow with the needle mount culture, fungal culture. Usually use seborrheic agar. Viral infection are by tissue cultures, inoculation of the chorialanthoic membrane of egg, the egg yolk, and if you are going to perform immunoagglutination test, there's the fluid of the chorialanthoic fluid is very useful. ELISA is also useful, PCR. Then the chemical bonds culture to prevent further complication. The treatment is as according to the prescription of the clinician or dermatologist. Skin diseases are just as a result of what we take in, the state of defense internally, because whatever happens internally can also be exposed by the skin. If the body is not in a very good state of health, then you start seeing blisters on the skin, and you start seeing different discoloration of the skin, which comes out. Some will call it fungal infection. It is for the lab to really prove that it's fungal infection. Some could be allergic reactions, the body reacting, showing that whatever you have taken in is not compatible with the body itself. So it reacts, and the IgE level is raised, and the laboratory can confirm that yes, these are allergic reactions, these are fungal infection, and whatever it is on time. So we must also take cognizance of these things, that when we don't feed well, especially when we don't eat balanced diet, it's always the skin that will expose the deficiencies. So most of these cofactors and micronutrients, they come out as deficiency diseases, that is things that are not truly caused by outside invasion, but by lack of certain nutrients or micronutrients that will now come out to show the scaly skin, show internal injury, hemorrhage, and many things, from vitamin C, all the vitamins, they have different things they cause. But the skin will present a kind of discoloration, especially when there is the eating, what you are taking in is missing some micro nutrients. And you can also know how the skin reacts when you touch the skin. The area, if it's serious fever, a generalized fever, when you touch the neck or most part of the body, it's already hot, telling you that the skin is helping to tell you the internal temperature of your body. But if there is no qualm, the body when you touch the skin will always show you the warmth that is normal, and not another one is when the person is dead, the body is cold. You can easily see that there is no warmth at all. It's dead cold, as cold, very, very cold. The body is dead, and so it becomes, there is nothing to maintain the homeostasis, to regulate the body temperature and maintain it at that 37 degrees anymore. So everything has really coalesced. That's the truth.